So Mandy says, we had a great couple of months of dating. He almost always initiated, but I was too available, so he eventually stopped talking to me. Is that why he eventually stopped talking to you? Because you're too available? I don't know. I'm going to question that one there, Mandy. I mean, having scarcity is, and I talk about this a lot. There's other women that were talking about this in the chat earlier, about the scarcity principle, where you give him some space, which creates value, right? There's something called the law of familiarity, which is the sad law. It's the crying law. It's the unhappy law, the law of familiarity. And what the law of familiarity states is that the more that you're around something, the more that you're constantly around something, the more that it drops in value in your eyes, the more you start to take it for granted. And so it can happen that you're like in contact with each other too much, but you're too available. That's why he stopped talking to you, but no closure or anything. The question is, how long has it been, Mandy, right? How long has it been since he talked to you? If it's just been a couple of days, it might not be something to freak out about, right? And you don't want to put yourself into this thing where you go put yourself through a roller coaster ride, right? A lot of women do this where they're like, talking to a guy all the time, and then there's a couple days where he doesn't talk to him, and they lose it, and they're like, he ghosted me, he's left me, he doesn't want me anymore, right? And then he messages them on the fourth day, and he's like, oh, he ghosted and then came back. Well, it can be normal that people have things going on, right? So you don't want to get too caught up in that, right? You want to, again, what who was it that was just talking about this? Lissy. What Lissy was talking, I'm just going to pretend your name's Lissy. So what Lissy was talking about was having other things going on in your life, right? So it's not just about being available or not being available. It's about not putting all your eggs in one basket. And when I say eggs, I'm talking about all your emotional needs, right? If you're coming from a place of abundance, you're coming from a place of abundance of connection. And so when a guy does something like he pulls away or he disappears or his priorities change or he does something messed up or he flakes on you or any of that kind of stuff, right? All of a sudden, you can come from one or two different places, right? One place that you can come from is, I have all of my emotional needs in this basket with him, and I get all my emotional needs from him. And so when he disappears, it's devastating. It devastates me and what's going on with me. And I freak out and I lose my mind and I go through a breakup in my heart, even if he doesn't even think there's anything wrong, right? He doesn't feel like he pulled away. He doesn't feel like any of that. He just had some stuff going on for a minute. And you're losing your mind, right? And you're going through all these emotions. Or you can come from a place of abundance, right? An abundance of options, an abundance of connection, an abundance of getting your needs met, of feeling significant and important and special, of getting your need of variety and different things going on in your life, right? Like going through different emotions from other things. And if you have all of that abundance going on, when a guy pulls away, it's not a big deal anymore, right? It's no big deal. It's not a big deal. And when he comes back, it's a regular conversation and you're talking to him and it's fine, right? If you're in scarcity and he pulls away, you're devastated. If you're in abundance and he pulls away, you're fine. And so my suggestion is that you make sure that you're in abundance at all times. That way you're not devastated when a guy pulls away, because we all have things going on in our lives. Sometimes we all need space. Most people, assuming you aren't like an anxious attachment style or something like that, you're probably going to need space at some point. And so you don't want you don't want it for him. You don't want it to be devastating to you if he needs space or something like that. And so make sure you're coming from a space of filling up your own cup, right? Coming from a place of feeling strong and powerful and having an abundance of connection and getting your emotional needs met in your life.